Steve Sarkisian is reportedly weighing a decision about the spring practice schedule that I love. I love it. But it's going to be different for fans, and they're going to have to come to grips with it. Let's talk about it next. Hey everybody, Brian Davis covering the Longhorns for A to Z Sports. You know, spring football is right around the corner. Teams are going to get those 15 practices in. It's going to be fascinating to hear about Arch and how the offense is coming along, how the defense is coming along. You know, the Horns are going to be rebuilding, losing probably double-digit draft picks. But how are they going to actually structure the spring practice? Horns 24/7, hat tip to you, Chip Brown, for a fascinating report late Tuesday that said Steve Sarkisian is currently weighing getting rid of the spring game altogether and possibly changing the spring practice format. And I got to say, man, that's one of the smartest things I have heard in a long time. You look at how the Horns went through this incredible season in 2024. Started their practice in August 1st. First game was August 30th. Then they went all the way to January 10th and played in the Cotton Bowl. Had they won that game, the season would have gone another 10 days. More practice, more banging on bodies, all those things, and played in the national championship. I promise you, Ohio State doesn't have any problem with the length of the season right now since they did win it all. But that was a major, major grind, man. That just really, really was. And Sark is a guy who is a huge believer in sports science, player health analytics, you know, how fast the players are running, how high they're jumping, things like that. And he is extremely mindful of how their bodies are reacting to the workload. Look, I know we talk a lot about NIL, but these guys are not professionals just yet, okay? They are still very athletic, 18 to 22, 23-year-olds. I get all that. But still, a 13-game season, Clemson, Arizona State, Ohio State, man, that's a lot, man. That is a lot for college football players to ask. So what does that mean? Canceling the spring game? Look, I know most fans aren't going to like me saying this, but the spring game is meaningless, okay? All it is a glorified practice, usually the 15th out of 15 practices, and it's meant to be wrapped it's a practice that is wrapped in marketing. That's all it is, okay? It's an opportunity for fans to come, find their season ticket locations. Hey, look, there's the new quarterback, and wow, look at what a beautiful day it is at Royal Memorial Stadium, right? And get excited about the team. I've covered the team long enough. I can tell you that Mac Brown did not like the spring game being on Longhorn Network. Charlie Strong didn't. Tom Herman didn't. No, none of these coaches like the fact that the Texas spring game was broadcast on LHN, because that means they have to go through and put up a vanilla play sheet of play calls that I got to call some plays that are just enough to make the fans feel good and that we can look good, but not enough that it gives it away to what opponents are going to see and get ready for the next season. So I think what you do is you keep all that under wraps, okay? Right now, I would think you'd want to keep Arch Manning under wraps. I would not want to showcase any specific new plays or new offensive styles or new formations. I don't want to show anything to Ohio State, especially when you just played these guys and you're going to have to play them again in Columbus in the shoe coming up to open the season. I wouldn't show nothing, right? But at the end of the day, this is about protecting the players' bodies, going to a revamped spring system. Maybe it looks like OTAs, the NFL does, right? But it's just fascinating to me that Sark is kind of openly talking about this. Well, he's not really talking about it just yet because this was a source story from Horns 24/7. But the fact that Sark is open to this means that the landscape is changing in college football. And I think it's pretty cool for Texas that their coach could be on the forefront of doing this for his program as well. Lots of coverage coming up this offseason. Basketball getting hot and heavy. You saw basketball got off the bubble in the NCAA tournament. Rodney Terry's got it going. So does Vic Schaefer over on the women's side. Big game against South Carolina coming up on Sunday for Vic Schaefer's Horns. Baseball and softball are getting it going. You can read about all of it. A2Zsports.com/Longhorns. Remember, it's all free. A2Zsports.com/Longhorns. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate you. That's all the time I have for now. I'm Brian. We'll catch you next time.